4M Sports, man. It's Lamont here. We back with another reaction video, man. This is going to be a reaction to LeBron James post-game news conference after their Game 1 loss to the Portland Trail Blazers. This is a game we both watched. Just a lot of ups and downs in that game. So before we get to that video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to the video. We're going to be doing this reaction with Brooke as well. She watched the game as well, so we're going to get her insight on it. See what she thinks about the press conference. We're also going to give our breakdown of what we thought about the game and what we can possibly expect from Game 2. So we're going to go ahead and get to this video and see what LeBron James has to say about the Game 1 loss to the Portland Trail Blazers.
Blazers have been in playoff mode for a while, and they take Game 1 over the Lakers. LeBron James with 23 points and 16 assists. Here are his post-game comments.
Just didn't knock him down. Nothing you can say about it. You know, we created a lot of great looks. Just weren't able to make them fall.
It seemed like you guys were able to hang in the game with your defense up until those final few minutes when they hit the back-to-back threes. Anything specifically defensively with LeBron on those possessions that made a difference?
Yeah, we had a couple breakdowns, which you can't have down the stretch, especially versus a team that's red hot like Portland. And those two, the two-headed monsters are the ones who kind of, made the plays. CJ hitting a big three, Dame hitting a couple threes as well. And then Melo hitting the three late and Gary Trent hitting a three. So they had 5 threes late in the game after we had done an exceptional job of trying to keep them off the three-point line. But, they made enough plays to win the game down the stretch, and we didn't.
Hey, LeBron, it's Dave. I know there's going to be a lot of basketball-related questions, and I know my colleagues do a great job asking them. I just wanted to ask 2 non-game-related questions. One, you weren't on the court for the anthem and the intros. I wanted to see if there was any intention behind that. And 2, can you please talk to me about the hat that you're wearing that all of your teammates wore to the game tonight?
You want to know why I wasn't out there?
I don't need to know the specific reason.
Well,
You see what the hat says?
I just noticed it.
But can you read it? It says, "Make America," and then it has the "great again" crossed out. It says, "Make America arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor." Yeah, that's true though. That's true. I'm surprised more people ain't talking about her, because even if you're a gun rights activist, you should be on her side as well. Like, even if you're not one of the people you're following this whole BLM movement, you should be upset about that killing if you're for gun activism and gun rights, because they were lawful gun owners and somebody kicked in their door in the middle of the night and they shot back. I mean, any lawful gun owner will pull out their gun and shoot back just like they did. And then the cops ended up shooting up their house and ended up shooting the wrong house. The guy didn't live there that they was looking for, on top of the fact that the guy that they was looking for was already locked up in custody. If they'd have done a little bit of homework before they even kicked that door in, they could have saved somebody's life. So I think they are right, man. Something should happen with these cops. They're definitely responsible for her death, man. And when you make a mistake like that, definitely. What you think about that situation?
I fully agree. Something needs to be done. I think only one of the 3 officers was, just let go. I don't think nothing else has happened. So,
I don't think none of them got arrested in her case.
No, none of them has been arrested. I'm just saying only one of the 3 have actually been fired from their position.
Oh, yeah. So, hey, man. Hopefully they do. I think it's like what's going on over there. It almost feels like they're just trying to stay quiet on it long enough until we kind of forget about it and let it go. And luckily, it doesn't look like people are going to be letting it go anytime soon. So hopefully they get something done about it.
You're asking, so you want to know why I wasn't out there?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, there you go.
Talk to me about the hat, please.
It's just something that we continue to put our foot on the gas, continue to pressure. The situation that's going on in Louisville, Kentucky, innocent woman being killed, and by the name of Breonna Taylor, a woman who had a bright future, and her life was taken away from her. And there's been no arrests, there's been no justice, not only for her, but for her family. and we want to continue to shed light on that situation because it's just unjust. And, that's what it's about.
Okay, I'm going to take a couple here. Start with Tanya Ganguly.
Sure. There's so much talk about the momentum that Portland has built up over the last couple of weeks, and that you guys haven't been in the same situation.
I can barely hear the question
Do you
she
feel like
asked.
that's something that's hurting you guys right now? You're really not in the rhythm, and how long do you think? How close or how far are you from getting that?
I don't know. I mean, I can't. I can answer that question. We can play the game the right way, make the extra pass, shoot the shots that's there, try to create two on the basketball. You got the numbers on the back end of 4-on-3, and defensively, you have to, key in on the game plan. You can't make mistakes in the postseason. I believe we made some mistakes defensively. We played hard, but there's some mistakes that we made, especially going down the stretch. And offensively, we got some really good looks. Just got to knock them down.
What you think about that?
They didn't hit anything tonight. I mean, like he said, they had a lot of really good looks, but they just weren't knocking them down.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron had a good game. He had a triple-double. You can't put too much fault on him. He played a good game. He made some mistakes down at the end. Him and Anthony Davis combined missed 4 free throws in a row that could have kept him in the game towards the end. That played a really big role in it because the 2 free throws that Anthony Davis missed would have tied it. And then I think the 2 free throws that LeBron missed would have either tied it or put him up 2. I can't remember the exact situation. But then again, 4 free throws in the last 5 minutes of the game, that's going to kill you. And then what they did at the end of the game, all of a sudden, all it takes is a few mental breakdowns on that pick and roll. And as soon as they gave Damian Lillard a little daylight off that pick and roll, when they didn't chase over that pick and roll hard, he didn't care where he was on the court. He just shot the ball. He might have been like almost 9 feet behind the 3-point line like a couple of times, and he knocked him down. So credit to Dame for knocking down them big shots.
Mm-hmm. And another thing is, I feel like towards the end of the game, the Lakers really weren't getting any boards, at least not the important ones.
Yeah. They were. I think they out-rebounded the Blazers really big tonight as well. So,
but like more towards the end of the game when they really needed to keep it together, they weren't doing it.
That's what I mean. Towards the end of the game, when you start missing shots and you start getting sped up and rushed, and the mistakes you make. I mean, them other guys for the Lakers, man, KCP, Kuzma, Caruso, y'all got to make shots, especially Danny Green. And Danny Green's been in the playoffs before. He has experience, so he should be able to make those open shots. And tonight he was missing them, and then missing them badly at that, surprisingly.
We go 5 for 35 from the 3-point line, and we missed 11 free throws. In a close game up until those last couple minutes. So those are things that we, the shooting from the outside is things you can't control. You want to shoot better from the free throw line, but the mistakes is things you can control.
Joe Burton?
When you think about you in the playoffs, kind of the theater of it, the flexing and pounding your chest and the destroyer and standing up on the scoreboards and then talking about man in the arena and kind of all that. Did you feel any of that tonight?
I have no idea what that question even means.
Did you feel any of the normal passion and intensity and sort of just all the things that go into playoff LeBron? Did you feel?
Like I continue to say, this is different. This is different in an aspect of just, we're in a bubble with no fans. But as far as me being locked in on the game plan, that doesn't change, not one bit. Me going out making plays, playing.
Hey, you know what? I think defensively, LeBron played a good game today. Now, whenever he did match up with CJ or Dame, he did a good job containing and making them give up the ball. But, when you leave that matchup assignment, guarding Damian Lillard, when you leave it to a Caruso all night long, they're bound to make mistakes. I think towards the end of the game, you got to have somebody. I think the whole fourth quarter, LeBron should have dedicated the fourth quarter to guarding Damian Lillard and then maybe putting Danny Green on CJ McCollum. You got to have your 2 smartest defenders on those guys in the fourth quarter. If you don't, they're going to do what they did to you in the fourth quarter. It looked like Portland was in trouble. I think they got down by like 6 or 7 at one point in time. They called a timeout. They did a good job of gathering themselves. They came straight out the timeout. Dame hit a clutch three. And then they followed it up with another three to tie it up quick. So that 6-point lead disappeared fast. And the Lakers never really were able to recover from that point forward. They missed free throws, and they could not get stops. They just completely changed how they were guarding the pick and roll, and that destroyed them right there.
I'm at a high level to try to help our team win. That was the same. Nothing changes from that. So it's the same to me.
Yeah.
Kyle Gillen?
Yeah. All right. Specifically, that last sequence in the fourth quarter, Dame hits a three, then Melo hits a three, and Gary Trent, I believe, hits a three. Did Dame's sort of initial shot near half court, do you feel like had a specific momentum effect or change anything about the game?
Obviously, it was a big time shot, but it was a breakdown. It was a breakdown defensively. He makes big shots. He takes big shots. Commend him for that. And on the Melo three, it was a breakdown as well. We didn't get the rotation correct, and the same as the Gary Trent Jr. shot. We saw in the rotation, so those things that we can control.
LeBron.
I thought like towards the end of the game when Carmelo hit that three, because I feel like he wasn't having necessarily as good as a game as he could, obviously, but when he hit that three towards the end, they really needed that.
Yeah, I mean, and during the entire course of this bubble play, Carmelo's been making big shots in the fourth quarter. So I expected him to be there. He had 11 points, 11 rebounds today. Solid game for Carmelo. Another big shot, and then Gary Trent Jr. I mean, he missed a lot of threes early on, but he made the one that mattered most to kind of put the Lakers away at the end, put them up 6 with about a minute to go. That essentially sealed the deal for the Lakers right there. They couldn't really recover. So I applaud the Portland Trailblazers coming out game one. Regardless of the situation, even playing in the bubble, playing without the fans again, it's all equal footing. You can't really, complain about it. The Lakers are number 1 seed. They didn't get the job done. Kudos to the Blazers, man, for showing up, man. Let me see what else they got to say. I think they about to break down.
James making the human rights and social justice statement with his hat and some of his comments. Made a real statement on the court before that. A historic triple-double, but, of course, it comes into law, so not something to celebrate. But he's the first player to record a triple-double in a postseason debut with multiple teams doing it with the Cavs first in 2006. He's also the second oldest player with a triple-double behind John Stockton. All right, fortunate to have...
Hey, man, that's it right there.
Well, what do you think the outcome is?
If I'm being honest about the series, I think the Lakers was probably gonna win the series. But I want to see Portland win it. That's obvious. That's my favorite team. So I do want to see them win it. But if I'm talking strictly basketball, the Lakers, I know they're gonna come back game 2, and they're gonna try to set the tone for the rest of the series. It's a big game for both teams. For Portland being an 8 seed, they need this second game to give them some cushion going into game 3 and confidence. And the Lakers, as a number 1 seed, they need to get a win under their belt just for everybody's confidence. Kyle Kuzma struggled, KCP struggled, Danny Green struggled, Caruso struggled. I don't know why Frank Vogel didn't play J.R. Smith or Dion Waiters. To me, when you're struggling to score the ball, everybody outside of LeBron and AD were struggling to score the ball. And so why not go to some of your best offensive players in J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters? You played Dion Waiters 1 minute, you didn't play J.R. Smith any minutes. So, it's kind of self-inflicted right there. You need offense, but you don't put offense in. You need three-point shooting, but you don't put 2 of your better three-point shooters in. It makes no sense. That's why you brought those guys in, and then for you not to play them after you brought them in, just kind of silly. All right, you got anything else on the game?
I did, and then I forgot.
Hey, as we saw, man, Portland, man, big win, 100-93. The Lakers shot 5 of 35 from the three-point line. Shooting that bad, if they were able to pull off a victory somehow, man, that would have been remarkable after a bad shooting performance like that. And I think I think those were the games that they were able to win with home court advantage. Maybe if they were playing in LA, maybe that's a game that they can hold off and win. But in this bubble setting, you cannot let up in the bubble. You don't got the crowd behind you to get you through games. You don't have the crowd behind you to kind of shake the other team up and get them off what they like to do. So again, you gotta almost play essentially a perfect game against a team like Portland.
I do have something to say.
What up?
I actually think Portland might pull it off. My reason, and this is maybe just I look at it just I don't know. I look at it differently. It's not necessarily about who you have on your team, but it's kind of like what you have as a team. So I feel like, and Lillard said this the other day, you know, he's all about like the brotherhood and like the, you know, just his team and just building those relationships and having that passion. And I feel like they definitely have like more passion and more, I feel like they have more of a brotherhood on the Blazers than they do the Lakers. And I think that'll make a difference.
Yeah, that's different. Like the Lakers are kind of a makeshift team that they just kind of put together this season. You got guys just coming in you got new guys coming in like AD, you got Deion Waiters, you got J.R. Smith. So you don't have any chemistry. You're still lacking chemistry even though you got the 1 seed. You lost 2 of your better perimeter guards, Rondo and Avery Bradley. So that took away from your chemistry as well. So I think Damian Lillard, like in his post-game conference, I think he said something that could get the team in trouble.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because when he was talking, if y'all go back and listen to Damian Lillard in his post-game news conference.
I know what you're talking about. He was talking about how they got together and gym.
Yeah.
Okay, but then he realized that what he said was like could have sounded bad, but then he changed it to like, well, when we gained access to the gym, that's when we got
yeah, because he cleaned it up quick. I think I could tell he kind of caught himself, but I think he was.
But I don't think that was harmless. I don't think that they really were like going behind the scenes playing.
No, the Lakers got it. I think was it the Lakers? There's a team that got in trouble for that already.
No, I believe that. I'm saying I don't think that's really what happened with the Blazers.
Knowing Lillard for the last couple of years, he always invites the whole team to come over to his.
No, he wasn't talking about his gym or his trainer's gym. He was talking about their facility.
He slipped up.
No, he didn't.
All right, y'all. Hey, that was a good win for Portland, man. Game 1. Hopefully they can carry that momentum into the next game, man.
You want to make a bet?
No.
Let's make a bet.
No.
$100. Blazers win.
The second game?
No, the series.
Yeah, I'll bet.
All right.
All right, watch. She won't even pay me the money. Watch.
Whatever. I'm good for it.
All right. Hey, FYF Sports, man. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you got any videos you want to send us, hit us up on Instagram or Twitter. You can also email us. Our email address is right in the description of the video. So make sure you guys engage in all of our videos. And again, if you reach out to us, we'll reach back. Another great video, FYF Sports, and we're out.
The moves I made was all pivotal. Dreams I'm critically acclaimed, raised with the criminals. Maximize the scope, the haters wanted minimal. For every minute that I gave, I felt the ridicule. Like Usher, nigga, these my confessions. Been through the ups and downs, I'm battle tested. Trying to move my family out the hood off investments. Lyrically paint art, I'm getting better every session. Yeah, this open letter to my supporters. I wanna thank y'all for still supporting. Plug prices right, I'm trying will a fortune. This for all my pain and misfortunes. Can't leave a stone unturned, I'm pouring on my heart. It's my confessions like Usher, hustle from the start. The dynasty I put together, one and torn apart. Whenever my back is a wall, I always fall. I'm a product of my pain and my misfortunes. Mama gave birth to a prince, said I'm important. Race that never showed weakness, step before dishonor.